Well, hello everybody. I'm Mark's Games here, and today we're going to be talking about something interesting. So I was watching the movie Requiem for a Dream, right? Like I watched it a month ago, and it kind of got me wondering. It gives me the topic about addiction, and I was wondering do you know anyone in your life that suffers from addiction? We know at least one person in our life that is suffering from addiction. And it doesn't have to be necessarily drug related. It could be from anything that can interfere with your life. For me, I know a few people that suffer from addiction, and it's really like sad sometimes. And it can be very hard to deal with, especially if it's for people you love. For me, I have my own mother who struggles with alcohol and pill popping with Xanax addiction, and it's pretty serious. Like, I don't talk to her because, we had a major fallout back in the day, and part of her habits were part of the reason, and her very toxic and narcissistic behavior, unfortunately. But that's another reason, like, I don't talk to her. But it's kind of sad. But not only that, I also have a friend, my sister's older boyfriend. He suffers from porn addiction, and that is pretty bad. And he also is addicted to whippets and drugs, like hard drugs, and that can be taken very seriously too. And the porn addiction is so bad for him that my sister has told me that he like literally goes on like faps more than he sleeps with my own partner. Sleeps with a partner, and that's a problem, big time. And I want to talk about like how serious it could be. And to some people, you may not know this, but some of y'all may have had tried a drug and got addicted and not know it. For me, I never was addicted to any hard drugs, but I've tried it and I thankfully never got hooked on any of it. But one drug I did get addicted to without realizing it, it was caffeine. And even though it wasn't that bad, like that bad compared to other drugs, it's actually a pretty serious one in other ways because caffeine was so bad for me that it led me to intaking, a lot of sugar and shit. And not just that, it led me to massive mood swings, headaches, and just dependency. And another one I was pretty addicted to was video games. I know video games are kind of like, cliche and cheesy, like an old boomer saying, but video game addiction was real for me. Like, it was super bad. Like, I was so hooked on it that it was affecting my social life when I was a kid. I know every kid's play video games all day, but for me, it was so unhealthy that I literally almost didn't go to the bathroom anymore type shit. It was horrible. And it's very embarrassing for me to admit, but it's in the past, and I thought this would be a very relevant discussion along with the topic I'm talking about. Addiction comes in many forms and many ways, and it doesn't matter who you are. When I was a teenager, this is on the big one that a lot of people may have suffered with, and it was fapping. Of course, when you first encountered it, it's cool, it feels great. But over time, if you're fapping like way too much during the day, like I was as a teenager, that is an issue. And at first, like when you do it, it's like, oh, it's great. And then after a while, you just start to get very like desensitized to it, and it's not very healthy, and it feels like you're rewarding your brain. But no, I am not saying to go on nofap, but I'm just saying that that it's just not good for you of anything. Like too much of anything is bad for you, whatever it is you enjoy. Fuck, even people are addicted to making YouTube videos, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been kind of addicted right now to making these type of videos because I've been having fun. But I wouldn't say doing something you're addicted to is really that bad. Like, but I am saying is working a lot all the time to the point where you have nothing else better in your life. That's a big issue too, especially with your friends, families, peers, and it can hurt all of them if you're not careful. I used to be a workaholic, like I used to be thinking that if I worked a jillion hours that I would be rich. And my naive ass, no, that wasn't the case at all. It was actually a pretty sad reality of how much time I lost, but thankfully I learned at a young age that my time is valuable and so should be yours. The hardest part is quitting. What you want to do in life, quitting an addiction is so hard. Whether it's a bad habit or just anything in general, it's just really difficult. And to anyone that struggles with this, I feel you in some ways. May not be drugs all the time, or may not be hard, like what you think it'd be, like alcohol. But honestly, seeing your peers go through addiction can also affect your views on certain things like alcohol. My mom was so addicted to alcohol, and so was my dad, that I don't even want to pick up beer, and I really don't even enjoy it, to be honest. Some peers also suffer from addiction because, generations. There's some generation of family members that will have an addiction to something, and then it'll get passed down the line. and some people are addicted to even gambling as well, and that could be a very bad one because my dad, even though he wasn't the biggest gambler, he was addicted to scratching lottery tickets because just that feeling of just earning a dollar can really make you want to buy another one. And I can understand that a little bit because my dad used to let me scratch off lottery tickets when I was a kid. And I did have that sense of, yeah, I want to scratch off more so I win more money. Even though I was like 7 years old, it was a good feeling. But now I understand how it could hurt you financially. And yes, I'm so glad I didn't even go to a casino because in my opinion, casinos can be fun every once in a while, but I think they're a waste of time. I have been working on some other addictions too. I am addicted to soda. I can admit that. I love the taste of it. I think it's the sugar, something sweet. I'm addicted to sweets too. Like I said, you don't have to be addicted to fucking like substances. It could be literally just anything. And I don't want to hear it with people who smoke weed who's saying that weed is not addictive. Anything is addictive, bro. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't even have to be drugs, like I said. It could be like a fucking horrible habit if you let it consume you. I even smoked weed myself, and yes, it was fun and did get me high. But honestly, I don't really like to smoke for one, and two, I just don't feel very good at the end of the day when it's like over because you know it's like doom scrolling. You get a huge dopamine hit, and then you feel great, and then all of a sudden, when it's over, you crash and burn. It's kind of like that feeling. It's kind of scary. I also took edibles one time. Edibles aren't necessarily bad if you're in a good mood and everything, but one time I took one because I had a buddy over and everything, and we took one together, and I had a little too much because for some reason when you eat them, it doesn't hit you until later, and I didn't know that. So what happened was when it hit me, I got into a really bad trip to the point where my heart rate was beating really fast, and I thought I was going to die. It felt like my body was delayed by 5 seconds of anything I wanted to do. Like my brain would tell me to do something, and then I'd do it. Raise my arm up 5 seconds later. It was pretty terrifying. Obviously, I didn't overdose, but I don't think you can overdose on edibles, as far as I know. But it makes you realize that yes, you don't want to go down that path, and be careful what you do. And now I don't think I'm considering taking those again. And we shouldn't really judge people who is addicted to substances or drugs because sometimes it may not even be their fault. There's some people who are so addicted to something that they weren't even like pressured into it. It was literally prescribed to them sometimes. It was awful. I also had a grandparent who also was addicted to pills because he had severe back pain and the doctor prescribed him to make the pain feel better. Messed up his brain, had severe brain damage, and now he doesn't want to talk to any of us, and that's fine because I was 10 years old when this happened, so I got disowned by my own grandparents pretty young. But yeah, it made me realize like, holy shit, this is really a problem that really affects everybody. Thankfully, all the stuff that I was hooked on when I was younger, it wasn't like even drug related really. I have reduced it quite a bit. The one I did beat was caffeine, and it was great. Another one I really need to work on a little bit is caffeine. Not caffeine, soda. Soda is definitely a big one for me because now I drink caffeine-free soda a lot, but the taste of it, man, there's just something in that damn sugar. Yeah, it could definitely be an issue, but thankfully I haven't had any health problems with it, but I just don't want to get overweight, you know? It is something I still need to work on a little bit, but thankfully I can move around and pace and everything because I'm a very hyperactive dude. I always be on the move and everything. I sometimes don't know how to relax, but at the same time, it's just I've always been like that since I was a kid, but I have like little kid energy in that aspect. It's kind of weird, but you know, I guess it better to be active than be overweight and then slouching around all the time. But if you have a problem with addiction of some kind and it's super serious where you can't control it, you should definitely try to seek out someone, dude, like a professional therapist or just someone in general, man, because a friend maybe. Because there's a lot of people in this life that are struggling and coping with their problems, and I think it's definitely real, and a lot of people need to acknowledge it more. If you got this far into the video, thank you all so much for listening. And also, I really appreciate the support this channel has been giving me the last couple weeks. Like, it's crazy. The growth on here has been super fast, and I keep seeing more and more comments, and the algorithm's been helping push out some of my videos, and thank you all so much. Hearing your guys' like comments and advice and everything's really made me feel kind of better about everything. And it makes me feel cool that someone actually wants to listen to someone talk on a microphone and just talk about life. It's just really refreshing. Also, feel free to subscribe, man. If you guys want to hear me talk about random stuff, and maybe sometime I'll actually ask you guys for topics that you want me to cover, maybe because maybe one eventually I could start getting some advice for people. I don't know. I'm not much of a professional therapist, but I do like helping people, and it does seem very interesting. So maybe in the foreseeable future, I might do like a poll or something and see if anyone needs some like advice or help, because it'd be kind of cool, I think. Alrighty, everybody. Take care, y'all, and I hope you all stay clean, and I'll see you later.